Nice to have you back. And our first talking point on the program this morning is usual development in Ondo State transportation sector. And we have in the studios with us Mr. Tobi Ogunleye, Special Advisor to the Governor on Transportation. A very good morning to you, and thanks for joining us on the program.
Good morning, and God bless you.
Yeah, a whole lot of issues comes to board when we are talking about transportation in Ondo State. So far, you've been here severally, and we want to have an update as regards what's happening in the transportation sector in Ondo State.
Let me say this. Transportation is key to every development. We continue to be seeing things on transportation every day because it is the instrument for conveyance of services, of people, and even ideas. So where should I even start? Let me start from, because there will be prayer from the society, because people want to do business. I believe if transport sectors is adequately and maximally annexed, the issue of unemployment will be drastically reduced to a point. How do I mean? If you get to Onitsha today in Anambra State, you see how transport business is being done. You see God is good, AKC.
No, maybe we just
just like that.
Yes.
I'm just, it's not for me to advertise. I'm just making an idea for people to know what I'm actually saying. We have unions there, but nobody so soon one under one, because the right of doing business is a fundamental right. Right to join an association is fundamental right. So you cannot be forced, you cannot be coerced to be enlisted in a particular union. If you see what I'm saying, we have two major unions here. They are always at loggerhead with each other too. We have the National Union and the Retian. So anybody that has good idea and have the resources to come and establish, either of these two will not allow them to come. They will be threatening them that this thing is being given to them as of right. So we want to correct that impression. So we are working towards total deregulation of that sector. That if Mr. A has the wherewithal to come and establish transport, is allowed. The environment is allowed. The law is there without being enlisted under one union or the other. Okay. So we're inviting as many that have the resources that they should come and do business of transportation with Ondo State. Okay. That is all.
Okay. Sometimes you were here, you spoke about the issue of waterways transportation. What's the level of development as regards that? Because then you said you brought jacket and all those stuff.
Yes, life jacket.
Yeah, where are we in this particular area?
Yeah, let me say this. Governor or governors rather. I'm representing an entity, the political entity, and then I'm coming from the private sector to meet the public sector, the people who knows bureaucracy. How I wish I want to run, the bureaucracy will slow me down. So we need to cross the T, dot the I in bureaucratic sector. So the policy is there. We are going there. Already the partner, who is a private partner, is already prepared. They want to make everything right. So the life jacket is something that must be done. So already it's in the oven. So we want to finish and signing the memorandum of agreement. So very, very soon we are rolling it out. Our good people at the downstream there, that is the river Rhine area. So this government is coming to touch their life positively. We are not relenting on that.
Mr. Ogunleye, succinctly speaking, to what extent do you believe that transportation has a whole lot also to do with security of lives and property?
I said transportation is a mechanism or instrument of conveyance
No, I just want to know if you believe that it has something to do with
Yes.
in that case, it's just a yes or no. So let's move
Okay.
ahead.
Okay.
If now that you say
Yes.
you believe
Yes.
it has a lot to do with it.
Yes.
Now let's face it. In Ondo State, there's a color code for taxis.
Yes, very well.
And when you look at happenings in the transportation sector in Nigeria, a case study, or a case at hand rather, is in Lagos. Even a bus supposedly operated by government, something happened, leads to the death of a particular girl. And many atrocities are also said to have been committed via that link in the past. Now, how much less do we not talk about that's a regulated arena?
Yes.
How much less do we talk about the happenings in those transportation sector when individuals can just put a taxi insignia on their vehicle and then they say that they are working as taxis? Isn't that also a security threat? Is government not challenged about that?
It is a big threat. I'm worried. Even before the occurrence of that thing that happened in Lagos, in my first time, you know, if you can recall very well, I've been here. This idea of data capturing taxi light on this too. So we have that. But let me come to this. Our color, our official color is light blue, yellow, with red registration number. When you see red plate number, it's saying this is not private, it's commercial. Apart from the one you've seen, I've seen people even painting their vehicle with blue color. That is private. It is abnormal. We are doing our own in our little way. We want the people, the society, to please, to call our attention. We can't be everywhere. I've been arresting. I can't be coming here. I've arrested about 10. So they are more than 10.
Government is presumed to be ubiquitous and very powerful.
Where?
You have spent nothing less than 4 to 5 years as special advisor to the governor of Ondo State on transportation. What quality of advice have you been given if in that 4 to 5 years you are still appealing on an issue that should be a policy matter that should be enforced by government, presumed to have the power to do so?
Let me put it in the proper perspective. The policy is there. The policy has been established. Enforcement is there. But what I'm saying, the thing is becoming hydrated. People. It's all about people. We are not managing ghosts. We are not managing the saints. It is we. I'm sorry, with due respect. You may, God forbid, but let's, for the purpose of this discussion, after closing, I want to have some pepper soup. I don't want to take out of my salary. So when you get there, Ojoba. Some people you cannot even suspect are doing this thing. The few we could lay our hands, we have been doing it. We are doing the enforcement. Enforcement cannot be total without the cooperation of the people. That's what I'm saying. It's not that we are saying we are incapable. We are capable. You know me, you have my number. You have our people. You can. So if we are operating at Ondo Road, it's happening or what? Please let us know, because this is not that they are operating as guerrilla warfare. They have their roots. It's not just if they come today, they won't come tomorrow. So we may not. People who know these people, they should call us. We will lay ambush there. We will enforce, like the issue of erratic fuel, something that is going on. So yes, we have task force. As you are task forcing here in Nigeria, at Idoni, some set of people.
Interesting that you mentioned a task force in this matter. I understand that the Ondo State government put up what is called Social and Traffic Corps.
Yes.
I wouldn't know to what extent it's still effective, and that's a question I'm putting to you. If you're saying now that these people are operating a guerrilla format, it means you note their operational procedure.
I said they are not.
Okay, they're not operating in the guerrilla format.
It's a regular thing. People know these people. They know their route. They can call us.
So
I'm not saying
what's happening to the effectiveness of STC in also, or does it not fall within the purview of the activities and operations to be able to tackle this matter?
yes, yes, they have that inherent jurisdiction to do it, and even the statutory duty. So let me say this: by the special grace of God, we are going to increase our strength, numerical strength. It boils down on the issue of salary, but we are trying to privatize that sector now.
You mean the Sunshine Traffic Corps?
Yes, we want to privatize it because we can't be saying no money, no money. If somebody has money, he can come and invest. If you look at that BRT, it's not a Lagos State. It is PPP arrangement. Everywhere is going PPP. So we are doing that. I'm not trying. In fact, it's in the covenant. We are bringing it up any time soon. So we will have enough men in different zones, in the north, in the south, Akure being the main city, and even to the extreme, because issue of traffic and transport issue is not a metropolitan issue.
Mr. Ogunleye, don't you think that you might be biting more than you can chew if you are at this point talking about other cities when, well, I stand to be corrected, Akure, the state capital, is not yet well policed, quote and unquote, as far as traffic management is concerned. I bring up yet another issue, Mr. Ogunleye. I do not know if you are also conversant with that happening or if it's been brought to your notice. And the question is, what's actually the level of discipline among the few core members of the STC? When you look at the issue of traffic management and you find people who are driving against the traffic still being passed by those who are supposed to be the police that will send them back to do the right thing.
I will absorb my men of that, the STC. I will absorb them absolutely, because we have discipline in our own office. But the issue of traffic management is not the exclusive duty of STC. There are other. So if you are saying other agents are doing that, I can't say much about it. I've seen some people, not my people, in their official uniform doing it, and I have to pass and park my vehicle. I will question them that this is not okay. So, and then, sir, the people who are always on time, they are the people who are trying to corrupt the society, who are on time. The religious fathers.
Is it because you're on tight?
I wouldn't know. I was never asking that.
So it is a metaphor. Or I'm not referring
Of course,
to my brother.
your point is well noted. Of course.
So I'm having about 2 or 3 who we are in ties. But what I'm saying, it is a symbol of the so-called the elite. The symbol of elite, decency. But they throw decency to the winds. They don't like obeying the illiterate in court calls on duty.
Apologies to butt into your thoughts, Mr. Ogunleye. If you're speaking like this and you've earlier said that government is powerful, then it becomes, how do I put that now, contradictory, so to say. If indeed government is powerful and it has vested the power in the men saddled with the responsibility of doing one thing or the other, what happens to making some people to serve as deterrent?
My brother, so if you come to my office, you will see. I've arrested one man. He came from United States of America. He said, I'm the governor of Ondo State. He created sin from Sami. He stood on his car. He has open roof. In fact, carelessly, some Olokada people, they gave him serious entourage into my yard, and I arrested him. I made him to apologize. He paid for his stupidity. I've been doing this. I don't want to come here and be blowing my trumpet, but you know, this thing is an everyday issue. When you address this today, you see another one. we are doing our little.
Okay.
And I know with your support, especially this platform, so we can still do more.
All right, let's look at the issue of awareness, because you made mention the other time that all these private cars that you have a taxi insignia, in their cars or probably on their cars, that you've been arresting.
Yes.
Yes. When government makes statements, there's a way that people will always react to this.
Sure.
Some will react positively, some will be negative, and at the end of the day, there'll be some of them will be arrested to face the law. Now, what about the issue of awareness? To what extent have you gone in terms of, letting people know that they should not board private vehicles that are not off, because we have the just like what you said, the official colors. We have the red, and we have the yellow and the light blue,
yes.
and we have the commercial number.
Plate number.
Yes. To what extent have you done? Have you gone in terms of creating awareness, letting the public know that this is what government is saying, and this is what the people should actually go with?
What we are doing currently is part of it.
Now, aside from this
I'm
one,
not, I'm your regular customer. So also regular customer to other media houses, except you want to take it away from me. Okay, my good people of Ondo State, I'm still saying to you, if you want to save your life, make sure you board the accredited taxi. What do I mean? Yellow, blue, red plate number. It is more than that, sir. It is more than that. Like I said, people, when you are trying to save people, they will be even criticizing you. What is this saying now? As government now provided this thing, we are not providing, but I'm now saying for your safety, be very, very cautious. Be careful. Life is delicate. So we are doing it. Even here, we are doing it on Facebook. We are doing it on WhatsApp. We are doing it in every public forum.
okay. Another angle to it is that when we talk about revenue generation, we know that the normal taxes that we see, they still pay a little amount of money. Probably every morning, some this morning, some evening, ticketing thing. What now happens, because these private cars that we're talking about, who are taxes,
Whether they are paying.
whether they are paying, because don't you think that's another loophole?
Let me say this. So I will only make case for within my jurisdiction. The issue of ticketing taking, it does not fall within my jurisdiction. I may not answer that. But I know those people who are issuing that ticket, they cannot toy with it. In fact, they must take it. They will take it. I'm not saying they are doing it.
You mean the
but
private car?
They will. So they will take it, but I don't have control over them. Are you getting what I'm saying?
So that means you are giving them approval to
I'm
operate.
not.
That's just
I'm
the way
not.
it is.
You
the
asked
way
me a
signed it.
question.
Yes.
I said it does not fall within my jurisdiction. I cannot say precisely that this, but I know they are asking for money for revenue. If they are playing a particular route without paying that their distinct ticket, they may not be allowed. So they are not within my jurisdiction, but I'm now saying it.
Okay.
That one is not enough license. It is not a license. It's not an approval. It's not an approval. People should make them to be less lucrative.
Special advisor on transportation.
Yes,
To what extent are you really on ground when it comes to monitoring? Because when you say this is not under the purview of my office, this is not in my jurisdiction, then to what extent really are you monitoring activities in the transportation sector which you oversee?
That's a jurisdictional question. Let me assume jurisdiction before I exercise my authority. So I have my jurisdiction. The issue of if you don't license yourself might be our idea. Whether you are private or I know, whether you are private or commercial. What I'm saying, so they have the right to stop and ask for your driver license, your particulars. So for car riders now, we've started training them and licensing them. So all this falls within my jurisdiction.
Now
But
let's
the issue
let's talk about
the
ticketing.
so that one is amount to ultra-virus on my part.
Okay.
Prognosing to issue that it does not concern me.
Let's bring our nose back to the issue that concerns you now, which is the issue of the VIO. We've got feedback
From Court of Appeal.
from not even Court of Appeal. We'll not start that yet with you today. We've had a lot of back and forth on that particular issue, but we've gotten feedback from people also who say that the level of harassment from your officers, it's on a daily increasing. At every corner you find VIO officers trying to, make stops and all of that. What are you doing?
Now, brother, let me say this. On jurisdictional coverage, they have right to be at any news and crannies in the state. They can come to Odoja Igbarake because they have the territorial jurisdiction to do that. The issue of harassment, what is harassment? I've heard the people, so women are emotional. There was a particular case of a woman that my men stopped. Madam, where is your paper? They were looking, and the woman started crying. She said, they are molesting this man. They reported me to Mr. Governor. They said they should arrest the VIO for an offense of negotiation. The man said they were negotiating. And I said, sir, Mr. Governor called me and said, sir, they joined me with the man. We are on conference call. I said, I'm a lawyer. 3 of us, we are lawyers. Sir, what is the offense of negotiation? So, anything can happen. People have all manners of tricks. So, I'm not saying these men are saints.
Negotiation for what?
They said negotiation. Somebody alleged that the VIO were negotiating. That was why the woman burst into tears. I said, what crime of negotiation? Simply because they are asking. I'm a widow. I'm a single mother. So I said, single mother or widow does not give you an immunity to drive without the necessary permit. So we are facing this every day. Some will threaten me that they are lawyers, forgetting that I'm equally a lawyer. Some are even some years below me.
On what grounds will people be threatening you?
No, they can't. So, you will pity me, come to my office. Even you, if your car is being I have barrister Tobi. You will call me.
Have I called you before?
No, you've not.
Okay.
Well,
I'm just saying it. People like you, the people who are my colleagues in the cabinet say, Barrister Tobi, I want boys in. We are doing our job.
Just like you said it earlier, that people on time.
Ties.
Okay. Let's leave that issue now and let's talk about the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic which struck in 2020, and one of the worst hit sectors was your sector or is your sector, the transportation sector. The ripple effect of that was the fact that over 90 buses that ply students to and through schools were not in operation. And as a matter of fact, I can also confirm that those buses are in your compound.
Thank God.
Thank God
for
those
that.
buses are in your compound.
Thank God about that.
What is the government doing? Is that plan for, just like you said, perhaps it's also part of the PPP arrangement you've been talking about? What's the plan for those buses?
Don't input that. The PPP have not mentioned that.
No, it's just a question.
No, it's not a question. That is an imputation. You're inputting it. You put it. I'm a lawyer. So let me say this, sir. Thank God. Let's settle the pleadings first. The buses are in our custody. As opposed to the erroneous impression that Mommy Arabian has taken all these buses to Imo for our political district. That means it's no more. The buses are there. The reason for the suspension, not cancellation, even from the foundation, was as a result of the COVID. Thank God, I'm not even covering my nose. We won't see COVID-19 again.
So we
won't see it again. So COVID-19 has gone. So we are bringing these buses back.
How long will that take?
It's the issue of how long. It is a matter of procedure. I was off government. They They've conducted stakeholders meetings with the PTA and others. And other affected stakeholders. By the Spirit of God, we are awaiting the approval of the ESCO for the takeoff of this project, because we are introducing new things into it.
A lot of places you are a political head, and that you are off office. Should that be an excuse for the non-running?
I said when I was not in the office, they conducted stakeholder meetings around the state.
So when you came back, what have you done to
the report has been submitted? We are waiting for the approval of the ESCO, because in the report there are a lot of innovations. Some local government that has never had a taste of this thing will be beneficiary, because it's not right. It's not a right under the constitution. It is more or less a privilege. When some people say, did you enjoy such a this thing? I'm not arguing against it. It has come. It's a privilege. Some did not get it. We want to extend it.
the duty of government, if you agree with me?
It is not. My brother, when you say duty, sir,
the welfare of the citizens, isn't this the duty of government?
If you want to say citizen, citizens has no limit. When it's being restricted to Akure people and limited to Ondo, that means there's a bias.
But is the ESCO also aware that the longer it takes before a resolution is reached, that matter, the buses will continue to also deteriorate?
We are doing our routine maintenance and servicing. So it's there. Any day, anytime the approval is being given, we are starting off. But very soon, let me just lay the fear.
We will continue the discussion some other day. I think time is no longer on our side. We thank you very much, Mr. Ogunleye.
Well, thank you, Mr. Ogunleye, Special Advisor to the Governor on Transportation. We've been talking about development in transportation sector in Ondo State. Thank you so much for coming.
God bless you.
Okay, well, we'll go on the break now, and when we come back, we'll be talking about, finally now, the issue of the mother. Yes, at least Sunday and Zaid now, they will know where
You've been coming from.
Yes.
Very well.
Yeah, we'll go on the break now.